Welcome to our English Tales channel. Join us for a delightful journey into the world of stories. Like, subscribe, and let's explore the magic of literature together.
Funeral Blues is a famous poem written by W.H. Auden, and it can be found in his collection 12 Songs, published in 1936. The poem expresses deep grief and sorrow over the death of a loved one. So now we are going to start with the explanation of the poem. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone. In this opening line, the speaker begins by making a dramatic plea to stop time and communication. It conveys the idea that the world should come to a standstill because of the overwhelming grief the speaker is expressing. The clocks represent the passage of time, and cut off the telephone signifies a desire to isolate oneself from the outer world, emphasizing the intense pain of the moment. Prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone. The speaker adds another layer to their plea by wanting to stop even everyday sounds like a barking dog. The mention of a juicy bone suggests that even simple pleasures or distractions are now unwelcome in the face of their grief. It underscores the idea that everything should cease because of the loss. Silence the pianos and with muffled drum. Muffled drum over here refers to a drum that has been dampened or covered to produce a quieter and more somber sound. Here, the speaker extends their call for silence to musical instruments like pianos and drums. These are typically associated with both joyous and somber occasions, but the speaker wants them silenced as they are inappropriate for expressing the depth of their sorrow. The muffled drum also adds a funeral tone to the request. Bring out the coffin, let the mourners come. The speaker shifts from requesting silence to acknowledging the need to proceed with the funeral. They ask for the coffin to be brought out, signifying the formal beginning of the mourning process. Let the mourners come is an invitation for people to gather and pay their respects. Let aeroplanes circle mourning overhead. In this line, the speaker introduces the image of airplanes circling overhead. The planes, usually associated with noise and motion, are portrayed as mourning, further emphasizing the sorrow of the occasion. This image also suggests a world continuing to function despite the speaker's grief. Scribbling on the sky the message, "He is dead." The speaker imagines the airplanes leaving a message in the sky announcing the death of their loved one. This is a symbolic way of marking the profound loss and sharing it with the world, as if even the heavens should acknowledge the passing of this person. Put crape boughs round the white necks of the public doves. Here, the speaker describes a symbolic act of mourning by placing black boughs around the neck of white doves. Doves are often associated with peace and purity, and the act of adorning them with mourning symbols represent the universal nature of the grief, how it affects not just the speaker but everyone. Let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. This line further extends the idea of a widespread mourning ritual. Even the typically impersonal figures like traffic policemen are asked to wear black gloves, symbolizing their participation in this collective expression of sorrow. He was my north, my south, my east and west. In this deeply personal and emotional line, the speaker expresses the profound significance of the deceased person in their life. The deceased was not just a part of their life but represented the entire world, providing direction and meaning in every aspect. My working week and my Sunday rest. The speaker continues to emphasize the all encompassing nature of the relationship with the deceased. They were not just a part of the specific moments but were integral to the speaker's everyday life, whether it was during the work week or on a restful Sunday. My noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. So, this line again reinforces the idea that the deceased was everything to the speaker, day and night, conversation and music. The deceased filled every aspect of their existence with meaning and significance. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The poem takes a turn here. The speaker reflects on their previous belief that love would endure eternally. However, the harsh reality of death has shattered this belief, leading to a deep sense of loss and disillusionment. It's a moment of painful realization. The stars are not wanted now. Put out everyone. In these lines, the speaker calls for the extinguishing of the stars, which are often associated with beauty, wonder, and eternity. Now, in the face of their loved one's death, these symbols of cosmic permanence are unwelcome, as they only serve as a painful reminder of the enduring absence. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. This hyperbolic request underscores the speaker's anguish and desire to erase everything that once brought light and warmth to their life. Packing up the moon and dismantling the sun symbolize the complete extinguishing of all sources of happiness and illumination. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood. The speaker continues with exaggerated imagery, asking for the impossible. Pouring away the ocean and sweeping up the wood. Now, this action symbolizes the utility of trying to erase the pain and void left by the death of their loved one. For nothing now can ever come to any good. In the final line, the speaker concludes that in the wake of this profound loss, nothing in the world can ever bring them happiness or goodness again. The poem ends on a note of despair, highlighting the enduring impact of grief and the irreparable nature of the loss. So the poem is a powerful exploration of the depths of grief and the feeling of helplessness in the face of death. It captures the overwhelming sense of loss and the desire to stop the world from moving forward when someone dear has passed away. The main themes of the poem are: number 1, grief and loss. The central theme of the poem is profound grief and loss. It vividly portrays the emotional devastation experienced by the speaker following the death of a loved one. Number 2, love and dependency. The poem explores the intense love and emotional dependence the speaker had on the deceased. The deceased was not just a loved one but the center of the speaker's world. Third, isolation and silence. The poem conveys a sense of isolation and a desire for silence in the face of loss. The speaker wants the world to stop and acknowledge the significance of the death. Number 4, the transience of life. The poem reflects on the impermanence and fragility of life. It highlights the speaker's realization that even deep love or true love cannot prevent death. Now we will find out or point out the literary devices in the poem. The very first line: stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone. So over here this is an alliteration because the C sound in clocks and cuts This adds a rhythmic quality. Next comes put crepe bows round the white necks of the public doves. So over here, the repetition of double E sound in crepe and necks, this provides a musical quality in the line and draws attention to the image of the doves adorned with mourning ribbons. Next comes, he was my north, my south, my east and west. So this is a metaphor, because this metaphorical expression conveys the idea that the deceased was the speaker's entire world, providing direction and meaning to their life. Let airplanes circle mourning overhead. Now this is a repetition of the O sound in mourning and overhead, which emphasizes the mournful and haunting quality of the airplane sound, intensifying the poem's overall sense of grief. Next comes, pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. So this is a hyperbole. Now this statement, it exaggerates the depth of the speaker's despair, conveying the idea that the entire world should be altered to reflect the enormity of the loss. Again, next comes your personification. Put crepe bows round the white necks of the white doves. So this is a personification. Why? Because it personifies the doves by attributing them with white necks and having them wear crepe bows, enhance the emotional impact of the mourning scene, which makes it more vivid. Let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. This is a symbolism. Why? Because it symbolizes their participation, the traffic policemen's participation in the mourning process, which signifies a departure from their duties and a recognition of the loss. Next comes, scribbling on the sky the message, he is dead. So this is the imagery. Why? Because the vivid image of the sky being scribbled on to convey the message of death creates a powerful mental picture that adds depth and emotion to the poem. My moon, my midnight, my talk, my song. So this is an enjambment, meaning a continuation of a sentence or phrase beyond the end of a line or stanza, and this adds a flowing uninterrupted quality to the poem's rhythm. So in this line, it basically connects the speaker's expression of love and dependence. The last, that is my working week and my Sunday rest. So this is an antithesis. Why? Because this shows the contrast between working week and Sunday rest. In the same line, which highlights the idea that the deceased was an integral part of the speaker's everyday life, both in work and leisure. This is all about the poem. Please let me know how it was, and if there is any doubt, then please write it on the comment section. I will surely clarify all the doubts. Thank you.